Okay, what's happening? It was Liverpool 4, Chelsea 1. An absolute demolition job at Anfield tonight, with a man of the match performance, quite clearly, ultimately, from Conor Bradley down that right-hand side. But you know what? I think it stands out so much because he's obviously so young and he fully deserves it. I thought he was absolutely brilliant from start to finish, but there were tons of potential men of the match on the pitch for Liverpool in the night. I've got to give it to Bradley, but I really, really would like to do like a non-Conor Bradley man of the match. And it's probably Jota, but it could be Darwin Núñez as well. And I know he doesn't score the penalty, and that will be a thing that kind of feeds into people's frustrations with Darwin Núñez. The fact that apparently now he's broken a record. Nobody's hit the woodwork in a single game more times in the Premier League era than Darwin Núñez, with 4 in that game. But these are the fine margins he's playing at now. That was as close to a complete centre-forward performance as you're likely to see, except it's not, because he hits the woodwork 4 times, including obviously one of them being the penalty. So, yeah, just mad. It was really interesting. I've been under the weather, so I couldn't make it to Anfield tonight. So I had to listen to the commentary and hear and Ali McCoy's sort of paired over how good he is as a footballer was really, really nice. Obviously, some incidents there with potential Chelsea penalties. I think in normal speed, I kept hearing, particularly for the Nkunku one, he's kicked through him. If he's kicked through him, I think the leg goes as well. But Nkunku gets kicked in the ankle, does, and then flicks his leg backwards. I don't know. I don't know. Look, if it was a Liverpool potential penalty, maybe I'd be a bit more apoplectic about it. But as it is, huge shrug. I don't think Chelsea deserved to get any closer to winning this game than they did. They took the goal really well, and good player, really good finish, and Chukwuemeka's a good player as well, isn't he? Better than what they started with, to be perfectly honest. The thing I took away from it, from Chelsea's perspective, and from Liverpool's perspective really, is that I have watched so many great Chelsea sides come to Anfield over the years. I've watched Liverpool go to Stamford Bridge to play great Chelsea sides. They've had some midfielders to be feared. And I had little flashbacks, because look, it's the blue kit and the white socks, and you got these like combative midfielders, and every time we went to do something, I got a little like, oh, we're gonna lose it here, and I was like, no, because it's not N'Golo Kante in the midfield. They haven't got Frank Lampard in the midfield. They haven't even got Michael Ballack in midfield, who we absolutely bullied off the park in his debut, by the way. They've had some great players. These are not them. This is not that Chelsea side. And the funniest thing is what have they spent? Over £200 million? Well over 200 million, 210, 20, 30 million on their 2 central midfielders. And they aren't a patch on basically anyone who Liverpool own who play in midfield. They're not a patch on them. It's mad. And, we obviously got the draw first game of the season. And it felt a little disappointing when Chelsea continued to be rubbish as the season wore on, and Liverpool obviously got better and better and better. It looks a worse point the longer the season kind of goes on. But time and time again, we've come up against these big rivals, the big teams of the Premier League, and we haven't seen the performances that have really told us where Liverpool are at. So many draws against the traditional big six this season. We wiped the floor with them. This had more akin to Liverpool-Barcelona in that first half. I thought it was the best first half performance of the season. The amount of times we just won the ball back, on the blind side. At the time was, you had like Adam Lallana was very, very good at doing that for Liverpool. But like our entire team is just brilliant. Our entire front line. Diaz lives for it. Jota lives for it. Darwin lives for it. And then you've got the attacking midfielders now doing it. We've got attacking midfielders who score goals all of a sudden, and it's added dimensions beyond. And one thing I loved about the overall performance was those lads that started. Big call to start Conor Bradley, big goal to continue with Joe Gomez at left back, and not because they don't deserve to be in there, actually because they do deserve to be in there. But you've got the best left back and the best right back that of the last 6 years in world football, sat on the bench, certainly for Liverpool, certainly in the Premier League. And we chose to stick with what we stuck with. And then the whole team, including the fullbacks, played like lads who had been given the trust ahead of other established footballers, and they were fighting for it and all part of this unity and, what the team can deliver upon. So we've managed to get through this really tricky period. We've had loads of injuries. Obviously, still no Salah, still no Thiago, still no Wataru Endo, Matip out for the season as well. There's big lads not available to us, and we managed to get through, and now they're coming back. And Liverpool are still 5 points clear at the top of the league in the final of the League Cup through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. This was the night that I started to believe genuinely that Liverpool can achieve whatever the hell they want to achieve this season, because the Norwich game was a test of, after Klopp's announcement, first game after that, Chelsea team starting to dig out a bit of form with a really, really good manager, some good players. This could have been one of those where the wheels come off really, really early. And instead Liverpool have just gotten bigger, better and stronger in these games. And yet, look, that could have been a huge scoreline. And, to bring it back to sort of, obviously, Conor Bradley, absolutely magnificent at right back. That should make Trent even better, and Trent's as good as it gets. And Darwin Núñez, that game is the one has convinced me that we have just got a potential absolute superstar in the books there, and it'll come. When you hear stats about how many times he's hitting the woodwork in the season, I'm starting to get more and more Luis Suarez first full season vibes. I genuinely believe it'll come. His all-round play was magnificent. And while you've got Jota banging in goals, and Diaz banging in goals, and Szoboszlai banging in goals, Curtis Jones banging in goals, assists and goals coming from young fullbacks, and the rest, Liverpool looking very, very good shape at the moment. Who was your non-Conor Bradley man of the match? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more final 24 hours of our Klopp code, get a free month of redmenplus.com. I'm hosting the final word show, so I'm going to drag myself off my sick bed into work tomorrow, probably, and do an hour on this game. Get it for free. Use the code KLOPP on redmenplus.com. But this is the last chance, so grab it while you can. Anyway, what a boss night. What a boss performance up the top of the table, Reds.